Welcome to the Suburban Ford 7 Sports Cave. I'm your host, Justin Rose, and today I'm joined by the uber-talented and uber-opinionated Matt Derry. Wow. 1051.
You just come out of the gate swinging, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Always shot out of a cannon, this kid.
Lions beat writer Dave Burkett, long anticipated arrival. This is the first show I've done with you. You've been on the show before with Brad when he used to host. Feel good to be back in the cave, guys?
It's good to be here with you two.
Weeks?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, Dave had a big week this week. You know, he was toe-to-toe with Ndamukong Suh.
Yes.
Oh, Ndamukong. See, hopefully we'll have a few more years to go back
We're
and
going
forth
to
about it.
touch basis on that conversation and those types of things regarding Ndamukong Suh. But first things first, guys. I mean, 3 weeks left of the Lions' regular season. Big one home today this afternoon. Minnesota Vikings. First impressions, really, about as the playoffs are kind of shape up here.
Go ahead, Dave. What do you think?
No reason they shouldn't win. I mean, look, where they are right now, the next two games, a mediocre Vikings team. They're not bad. Their defense is pretty good. A bad Bears team that's crumbling. Like, this team gets to 11 wins, they're going to be in the playoffs. They win at Green Bay, they're going to get a first-round bye. You know, probably be the 1 or 2 seed, depending on what happens out west. They can make a little bit of noise. I mean, don't want to look too far ahead, need to win today, but this is a game they absolutely should win.
Win at Green Bay. Did you hear that?
No,
Did you hear
I'm
that?
not predicting that.
Are you
no
really?
predictions. No.
Tom Mazaway on my show said they're winning that game, so you could forget it. But no, I think that Dave's right. I mean, we're almost bored these next 2 weeks with these two games because we're figuring these are shoo-ins for the Lions. And that's a good thing. That means they have a good football team. They've got this identity with the defense, playing well. I think they're going to miss Joe Fourier being out. I liked last week when he was in the slot, Golden was next to him, and Calvin Johnson's on the other side, because defenses can't roll coverages over now to anybody because he was a threat. And I think that's going to be a big loss. And actually, you know what else is going to be a big loss? Is missing the twerking.
Oh.
This
is real.
This is game-changing television in this studio.
You just twerked.
Yes, I did. This is game-changing television in this studio.
What are we saying here?
Deer in headlights.
This is not some boring. We're not some down-the-dial, boring, sit around a table. This is game-changing TV.
He shoots. He
See
scores. That was unbelievable.
But no, I'm serious. That's fun stuff. The Lions are a fun, close-knit team. That I can't believe I just did that. But regardless, we saw it. That type of stuff, it's working. You've got Caldwell dropping the hammer when he has to, but they're also having fun and they're playing loose, and it's fun. The fans like it.
Hey, when you were talking about ultra talented, you weren't talking about his dance moves, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Don't re-rack that if you're on DVD. I can't delete it.
I hope somebody put that on YouTube. That'll get thrown out everywhere.
We're pushing the envelope on this show.
So, okay, if the playoffs were to start today, say they were, because again, we are kind of bored talking about the next 2 weeks. Hopefully the Lions take care of business and we don't have to be unbored talking about next week's game. But if they were to start the playoffs today, they'd be the 6th team, the last wild card, and they'd be traveling to Philadelphia against the Eagles. For fun and for argument's sake, is that a good matchup? Is that a matchup you'd like to see?
You know why I think they would have a shot there? Look, Philadelphia at home, LaShawn McCoy, good team, Chip Kelly, good coach. Why they would have a shot? Butt fumble. I mean, Mark Sanchez is not a good quarterback. We've seen it already. They put the hammer to the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. They got a big matchup again, the rematch here this week. Look, I'm not sure that they're going to win. I think Dallas might actually be a better team, or maybe a team I would like to face less in the playoffs because they have a better quarterback. Their defense has some issues, but it's not like Philadelphia is great defensively. I don't necessarily think the Lions win that game, but I don't think it's as big of a lopsided affair as a lot of people do.
Can you give us a reenactment of the butt fumble?
No, I can't do that. All right, I'm done dancing and doing it. No. Can they win that game in Philly? Why not?
Yeah.
I just don't know if this offense is real or not yet. And that's what scares me a little bit about going on the road, because the last 2 weeks, fantastic. They look crisp. I like Lombardi's play calling. They're throwing some quick stuff to Tate, and the run game's better. Not that it's anything good, but it's better. But it was against Tampa and Chicago.
Right.
Philly's got a pretty good front four. And
So does Tampa, though. In
no,
all fairness.
right, but and they couldn't get a yard last week when McCoy was out of the game, which still bothered me on 4th and 1. I want to find out today, because Minnesota's defense is better than Tampa's and Chicago's, if in fact this offense is back, or we just saw a mirage the last 2 weeks. And the game in Philly, if they play there, the only guy that scares me there big time is Sproles. For some odd reason, remember in 2011.
Shady? McCoy?
I like McCoy, but he doesn't have in the year that if Sproles is healthy, that's just the guy that
The Lions have the best run defense in the NFL, so that's why it's not a terrible matchup for them
Right.
in Philadelphia. Even if weather could be a factor.
If you make
even
Mark
though I heard him
Sanchez
last year.
beat you,
That's right.
that's the story
And you
of
should
your
be able to
playoff.
get to Sanchez, and he's not going to be able to withstand some of that pressure. I'm with you though about the offense. I mean, it's still look. I asked the player a couple weeks ago. I said, is your offense back on track? This was after the Chicago game, and he looked at me to make sure I wasn't recording. He said, "Dude, it's the Bears." I mean, let's.
Oh, a
so
player told you that?
Yeah. So look, it's not, and he wasn't saying that the offense, is awful.
terrible,
Yeah,
right.
he was just saying take it for what it's worth because it was Chicago. Same thing last week. It was Tampa. That shouldn't take anything away from what the Lions have accomplished, but keep that in perspective too. When they played the best defenses on their schedule, they haven't done anything with them. They need to get this thing rolling into Green Bay. in week 17.
Back-to-back games, over 400 yards of total offense. Matthew Stafford making good decisions with the football, over 300 yards back-to-back. His rating is finally above the 100 level that we need it to
should-
be,
and it should be.
for him to succeed. But I think that we're trending, and I'm with both of you. I've been saying it to people all week long. They're trending in the right direction.